Thank you for giving this opportunity.
But tell me your name.
My name is Akshaj,
Yes.
and my question seemed a bit small to me when I began, but now it seems even more smaller. It's very simple. I would like for you to guide me and others to how to practice forgiveness. It's I'm trying various things. I'm listening to you. I think I'm doing the right things. But what I'm seeing in my mind, it leads to anger.
Yes.
And it is not good for me or for my progress.
Yes.
So practically, what can I do?
Yes. But first of all, that I have made up my mind. You have made up your mind to forgive. That you think, you have realized it's a valuable thing to have in your life, in our lives. That's a great blessing. It's a great step forward. Otherwise, there is a great seductive power in revengefulness. It's the weak who are revengeful. There's a saying, anger is like a fire. But that means, where do I light the fire? First I light it in my own heart. Before it burns anybody else, it will burn me first. Anger burns me first. And that's why there's an immediate release in anger. That's why people become angry. But very soon we realize we are suffering. The revengeful are those who suffer. It's far better to let go, but it's difficult. It's difficult to let go. To let go, one must expand. One must become a bigger person. Remember, first of all, the serious flaw in being unforgiving. Again and again, especially the Christian Bible. In the New Testament, again and again it says, the central prayer, forgive us our sins as we forgive others. If you do not forgive, you will not be forgiven. Learn to let go. And this is a powerful way of making us let go, wash away. Whatever has gone on till yesterday, till last night, till this morning, all washed away, offer it to the Lord. That's one powerful way of forgiving. I offer this, whatever wrong has been done to me, or whatever I perceive as wrong, and my own resentment, my anger, my irritation, the difficulty I have in forgiving, the whole lot I take and place at the feet of the Lord. Sri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu, Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. I let go. Just by doing this devotionally, you will feel free of it. Do it daily. Daily, even if it's mechanical, I offer everything to you, my Lord. All that has gone in my life, all the good, all the bad, all the thoughts, all the emotions, good and bad, I offer to you. All my memories, I offer to you. They all come from you. These are the energies of the Lord. Second, practical thing. First, this is important. Get the Lord on your side. The Lord will be on your side God will be on your side on one condition, if you forgive. Then God is on your side. Second, selflessness. Unforgiving nature comes from a strong identity to this one particular self. I, me, mine. Therefore, you violate even a little bit. If I perceive you have violated me a little bit also, I'm unforgiving, ruthless towards you. That's a tamasic nature. This is a dark nature. Because rajasic, dynamic nature, that person may be greedy, may be passionate, but a greedy person, passionate person, power-hungry person will be forgiving also. Because they want something from you. They want your approval or your votes or something like that. Or your money. You see a businessman, for example, and they are always very sweet for a reason. They want something from you. But the sattvic person does not. You don't want anything from anybody, but by your very nature, you continuously forgive. But that person is a crook, not punished. It's not your job to punish. Especially if you are a seeker of spirituality, then it's not your job to punish. The job to punish is the Lord's, and the Lord will get it done in its right time. So it will be done. And so that's why selfless. I really care about others. The more and more I care about others, the more their apparent little offenses will not matter to me. I'll brush it off. Remember, forgiveness is done by the strong, not by the weak. The weak will always be revengeful. When I'm weak, I want to hit out. Two little children playing, and one pushes the other one will be furious and push back. But if a little child pushes its grandfather and grandmother, the grandfather or grandmother will just laugh or even pretend to fall back. Why? Because for the grandfather or grandmother, it's a play. It's delicious. Even the offenses of the child are sweet for the grandparents. I'm saying grandparents, parents. I have lots of equations, but grandparents are very spiritual that way. With they are elevated above. So second, selflessness. The more bigger I am, the more I don't care very much about myself. So your offenses against me does not matter. Third, meditation, stillness of mind. Lack of forgiveness and unsettled mind go together. It's a flickering mind which is quick to hit back. It's a quiet mind which can hold back. When harsh words come to my lips, shh. Because if I utter harsh words, it is satisfying at that moment. Later on, I feel bad. If I withhold the harsh words, it's difficult, but afterwards it produces great peace of mind. Years later also you will enjoy that peace of mind. Uttering a harsh word immediately is a release, but years later it will keep on burning. I might even, the offense which was committed against me might fade away into memory, something that person did, but I hit back. That will not fade away. That will still rankle in my mind, especially for a good person, especially for a spiritual seeker. The minds are soft. The minds are sensitive. The minds are pure. So anything that I do hurts me more than what others do. If I am all right and other person has committed offense, that's their problem, not at all my problem. But if I have committed an offense, that hurts more and that I remember more. So be careful by keeping the mind still. And that stillness of mind can be done through many meditation. You must have your own meditation practice, your personal meditation practice.
One thing I try is to observe my mind. This is the only thing I try to do.
That's actually a difficult thing to do. Okay. Because sometimes you'll observe, sometimes you'll not observe. And even while observing, the mind goes away here and there. Yeah. So some meditation technique. Why not think about taking, for example, mantra diksha. In our tradition, there is mantra diksha, the sacred mantra which relates you to God. Mm-hmm. So that becomes a powerful practice and helps us in stilling the mind. And most of all, finally, you might say it's impractical, but it's the most practical thing. There is only one unlimited consciousness appearing as the offended and the offender. Vivekananda says, whom to blame, whom to praise, where blamer and blamed, praiser and praised are but one.